Hello YouTube, this is Forever Figs with a real brief video on a little greenhouse hookup that I've just started using. And it's not of my own invention. I just want to give credit where credit is due. I saw it on a YouTube video, and I learned this technique from a fellow named Nelson up in Toronto, Canada, who is also a big fig fan and a fig grower. So I just want to give props to him and show you what I made out of it. Okay, and I have cuttings in here from about 4 or 5 figs. I'm just starting this, and I've tried a lot of different rooting techniques in the last couple of years, but I've never had as quick a success and as good a success as using this technique. Okay, for example, this little cutting right here was put in 3 weeks ago, and this green bud was there when I put it in the ground. So if you weren't able to see inside this bag, you wouldn't think anything's going on. But if you can take a real good look at that bottom of this bag, I hope the camera is picking this up, you can see some real good root growth. In fact, it's busting out of the bottom of the bag right over here. Okay, so there's no evidence on top that anything's happening, but you look underneath and it's happening. Same way, here's another one. These particular cuttings are from a neighbor of mine, and he has a little fig tree in his yard, but he has no idea how to do rooting. So he asked me if I would take some cuttings and keep a few for myself and give him back a few so he can have his own little figs. Okay, so I was very happy with how fast these things started rooting. Never seen that good a success before. Now here's another tree. This is called Lady of the Night, and if any of you have ever seen my first video, which was a tour of my backyard fig orchard, this was the very first tree that I showed you. It was a 5-year-old tree, and I took a couple of cuttings off it just to see. I usually wait until November or so, but I figured let me just experiment with this little greenhouse and see what happens. So already you can see on top that bud burst open, and we got a little leaf growing there already, and we got some real good roots on the bottom of this. Okay, they want to burst out of that bag, and in fact on one side they already have. This has only been in here, this cutting, for about 3 weeks. Okay, and there's progress already, so I'm really pleased. Now, just to show you the opposite side of the coin, this tree, little cutting, it's off a tree I have in my backyard called a Verta, V-E-R-T-E, has real good growth on top, but you can't see a root in this bag. So two different results from 2 different trees. One has tremendous root systems and very little growth. This one has a lot of growth and very little roots. But either way, when you have roots or you have top growth, there's life. Okay, so that's a good thing. And over here, I'm just experimenting. These are off a couple of trees that were in my backyards. They're not even what you would call cuttings. They were just little suckers that started growing at the base of the tree, and they're only about maybe 3 inches long, and I don't know if they're going to grow or not. I've had them in there about 2 weeks already, and the leaves haven't shriveled up yet, so maybe they're going to root. I don't know. It's all one big experiment. So I'm going to give you updates on this as I continue, and this is just the first maybe in a series. Okay, so this is Forever Figs signing off, and I'll see you next video. Bye bye.